Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're brand new, welcome. I'm super glad to have you here. Today's video is going to be a bags I've sold and why video, as you can see by the title, but it will be a little bit different. The first half will be discussing bags that were in my collection and then I chose to sell and have been sold. And then the second half will be bags again that were in my collection that are currently for sale. So we'll do that at the second half. If you're only interested in things that are for sale right now, you can go ahead and skip to the middle. But if you want to hear all of it, then we will start from the beginning. So let's get started. So I discovered the other day what my first luxury handbag was, and that one is not for sale. But the second luxury handbag that I owned was a Louis Vuitton Speedy in monogram print from the 1980s. I bought it pre-loved. I think I've bought all of these pre-loved and then have been sold on the pre-loved market as well. So I will insert a picture if they are interesting, if there are things to show. I really don't think I need to insert a picture of a monogram Speedy. It was a Speedy 30 because pretty much everyone knows that bag. But why I sold it was I'm really just not a top handle bag kind of person. I choose crossbody bags or I choose tote bags, and I loved that one, but I also kind of felt like everybody had it. And I know it's a classic and something totally worth having, but for me, it was just, I wasn't grabbing it because it was this top handle bag. Monogram print is not my favorite, and then it was just kind of something that was around a lot and a little bit in your face for me. Of course, I think it's beautiful when other people have it. It just wasn't right for my collection. So the handbags that I'm talking about in this video were all ones that actually made it into my collection. I have been buying and selling luxury handbags for about 2 years, so not very long, but some of them I bought to sell. They weren't really things that I was going to necessarily keep in my collection. So I'm only going to be talking about the ones that made it into my collection, were things that I wanted and then didn't work out for whatever reason, so I chose to sell. So the second in order, right, of when I kind of purchased it and then when I sold it, were a couple of different small vintage Louis Vuitton and Salvatore Ferragamo, which is generally my favorite. The second half of this video is going to be bags that I've sold, and there are quite a bit of vintage Ferragamos in there, so I'm not really going to touch on the other ones. They weren't really a super big deal. So you will see that most of the other bags are Louis Vuitton, and of course the first one was with the Speedy. I had a little love affair with Epi leather. I really loved the Epi leather bags, and so I bought a bunch, and I don't have any anymore, so they didn't quite work out in my collection. But sort of in order, so my husband bought me a Louis Vuitton corset. Which was really beautiful and really great, but again, it was a shoulder bag, couldn't be worn crossbody, and it wasn't quite large enough for me to use as a work bag, so it was really a large everyday bag, which is not something that I use. And like I'll mention with some of the bags coming up, the Epi leather is so stiff that sometimes it was really difficult to get things in and out, and this was quite a thin bag, so it really didn't fit my lifestyle and the kind of things that I generally carry around. In that same vein, some of the next ones that I bought were the Louis Vuitton Saint Jacques bag, which I really didn't do my research on. I thought that that was a big bag, so again, one I could use for work, and I liked the sort of beach bag kind of shape of it, but it was really small, and I mean, it wasn't like super duper small, but it was a shoulder bag size, and so it wasn't something that I was particularly interested in. And then the next ones were the Trocaderos. So I did have this in a black Epi leather, as well as, I don't think I ever had it in a brown Epi leather. I think it was just black Epi leather, and then the brown monogram, and I'll insert a picture of that now. So the Trocadero is a great bag, and it was a good crossbody bag, and I used it for a while. I took it on a trip, and I really liked those bags. Again, the monogram is not my favorite. It's a bit in your face for me personally, so I liked the black Epi more, and I kept it much longer, but it was stiff and hard to get things in and out of, and it also is a little boxy for me. I like a bit of a more elegant shaped bag, so that one wasn't super duper my style. So from the Trocadero, because I said, oh, well, I don't really like this boxy style, I did a vintage. Most of these have been vintage. I did a vintage Epi leather Jean Fille in black, and I'll show a picture of that now. So that one was a little bit better, but again, it was still this sort of thin bag that was hard to get things in and out of because of the zipper and the epi leather. And I still just didn't love it. Like, it was a little bit too much of a saddlebag shape for me, which again is also not something that's super duper my style. So I just didn't really love that one, and I kept it for a long time as my black crossbody bag, but when the opportunity came to sell it, I was happy to take that, and then I replaced it with my Mulberry Lily, which I absolutely adore. So I am very happy that I made that change. So to move away from Louis Vuitton for just a second, I'll be right back. I had a Prada nylon shoulder bag. Again, it was a shoulder bag. This was sort of before I realized I was not going to keep things that were not crossbody or totes. And so the shoulder bag was nice. It was nice. It was nylon on the top and leather on the bottom. And so I liked that because it held its shape. You were able to stand it up, and that was a nice bag, but I don't really love the nylon, and again, the shoulder style didn't work so well for me. Okay, back to Louis Vuitton. So these are two that I bought in brown epi leather, both epi leather. So the first was the Sorbonne. It's a big, almost briefcase-like bag, and I really got it in like a cognac kind of color. I really liked that bag, but it was too large for me. It didn't quite work out for my lifestyle, and it was really kind of heavy. So when I was carrying it, it was just too much, and it was too big. I actually had way more room than I needed for my work bag. So then I got the Lussick tote, and I loved the Lussick, and I think of it basically as an Alma, which is such a classic and one that I do, even though I know I don't like top handles, but I do pretty much want an Alma in my collection. So the Lussick was this long shoulder strap version, and I was like, oh, this is perfect. I love it. And I did like that bag. It was a good shape. It was a good size. It did fit everything. But the problem with that one was that I just never gravitated towards that color. This one was a little bit more of a reddish brown. Not that I didn't use the cognac colored one too much either. Brown is hard for me. I don't wear a ton of brown, and I choose generally like a lighter bag, like a light gray or an off-white or something, more than a brown. And then when it comes to like fall and I am wearing brown, I tend to wear a lot of dark brown, and so I just didn't love the way that it looked with that. So that one was also sold. So the last bag that I sold, and I sold quite recently, was the Tory Burch York tote. I do have a video on that, which I will link down below, so you can see why I didn't really choose to keep that one. But I did have one of my YouTube subscribers buy that bag from me. I think her username is Gigi, so shout out to Gigi for buying that and then sort of giving me the confidence to do a little bit more of a sale. So this is sort of my segue into the bags that I am selling. So the bags that I am selling, I will talk about it. You can buy them from me, contact me through here, and we can talk about it that way. Or I will be putting them up on my Poshmark and Tradesy accounts. If you are not from the US and you want me to put it up on eBay, I can do that as well. Or we can do a little bit of a better price and just do it through PayPal. Totally up to you all. But let me show you the ones that I'm selling and why they are parting my collection. Okay, so I lied a little bit. One of the bags is not really for sale anymore. Somebody already bought it, but I haven't given it to them yet, so I will just show you that one quickly. So the one that has been sold already is this Ginny bag, and I do have a video comparing some of my small Ferragamo crossbodies, the Mini Veras and the Ginny, so I will link that down below as well, and you can see this bag in its glory a little bit there. But another YouTuber, Grace in her handbag, who's also just become a friend of mine, she's so wonderful. Check out her channel. She sort of fell in love with Ferragamo, which I think is my fault, sorry. And so she's been buying a couple small Ferragamo bags, and she actually does have a mini Ginny that she just put up, which is really cute, on YouTube, so you can go check that one out. But she bought this one from me because I have never used it. I've never reached for it, and I think it's the navy and that it's a little larger, but it's gonna work for her. So this one is not actually for sale anymore, but I wanted to let you know why I'm not keeping it, and that is because of the size of it and also the navy color. It just isn't something I wear as often as black. So I think we'll jump into the vintage Ferragamo portion of the evenings. That was the current bag, and these are going to be the vintage ones. So this beauty right here, I absolutely adore this black bag, and I used this as a formal bag for a while. So you can use it as a clutch. It's a great size to be used that way, but it also has a really nice long strap, so you can wear it crossbody or you can wear it just on your shoulder. And it opens up like this inside, and it's really nice. Technically, this clasp is broken a little bit. You can't really see it, but I think I bought it that way, and it has never made a lick of difference. So there's a little pocket in here, but it's leather lined, and it's beautiful, and it's this beautiful leather pattern with this kind of classic bear bow. So it's really sweet. I really like this bag, so you can contact me if you are interested in that, but this one is already up for sale, I believe, on Poshmark and Tradesy. The next Ferragamo bag that is for sale is this clutch. I just talked about this in my best and worst luxury purchases. So it was in the worst just because I've never used it and I don't think I ever will. It's a hard shell. It has this nice tortoise clasp and it says Ferragamo there. And then you push down and open it, and it does have a chain you can use. It also, I believe, is leather lined, though it kind of looks like a foil. I can't quite tell. But it is a really cute clutch. I just don't use clutches, and I am not really sure that I ever will use this. So this one is up for sale as well. Speaking of sort of these mini bags, lighter colored, beige kind of colored ones, is this beautiful, what I think is linen but fabric bag with the cute little Vera bow on the top. I just think this bag is so great. This does come off. As you can see, you can take this off right here, and so you can use it as a clutch. It is not too thick, so it works as a clutch, or you can make it a shoulder bag or crossbody. You can adjust the length a little bit, so you can wear it that way. The only wear I really see on it is a little bit of yellowing on the strap, but if you wanted to tuck this inside, you could do that, and so you wouldn't see that. You wouldn't see the buckle, but that's up to you. And then, so you can see right here, you can kind of move that around. And then it's got the typical little pattern inside and the small pocket in the back that has a little Ferragamo hanging charm on it, and then a small little pocket that you can use. So it is really cute. I just saw a little stain on it, and now I've lost it. Where did it go? Oh, there's a tiny little stain on the bottom as well. But it is beige, and that probably will happen. I haven't tried to clean it, so it very well may come off. But it's such a sweet little bag with this gold hardware and everything. So this one is for sale as well. Okay, we'll finish up with the beige Ferragamo bags. This one I'm really not going to sell for very much. It's a little damaged and it's pretty old, but if it's your style, great. It's just not my style really anymore. I have used this to help people like move and go hiking in. Like, I've kind of used it as a throw around bag. So it does have, you know, a typical kind of clasp there. It also says Ferragamo on here and on the little keys. It is leather lined, and it does have a nice big pocket inside, so it is a really good sized bag, but it's just not something that I'm gonna wear anymore. So crossbody wise, it goes right about to my hip level, and it is a nice bag, but it does have some scratches, and it does have these kind of dents in the back. It has gotten damaged, so it may be able to be cleaned up. You could also dye it probably if you really wanted to, and then there's also a pocket with a receipt in it, also a pocket in the front. So I really won't be asking much for this one. If you're interested in starting a collection and you want a little something, and if you like a bigger bag and a little bit more of a casual bag, then this could be nice because it is nice leather, but that is this one. So the last vintage Ferragamo that I have for sale that is leaving my collection is this super cute Ferragamo Kelly bag. It does have the ability for you to add a strap to it, so if you did want a long strap like the Hermes Kelly has, you could do that. This is really sweet. It's one of my husband's favorite bags of mine, but I just don't reach for it. I just don't reach for the top handle, and so it's so cute, and it's really good size. It can hold quite a bit, and it doesn't really appear too bulky or too big, but it's just not something that I'm gonna keep in my collection, even though it's beautiful. It does have some scratches. They could probably be buffed out and cleaned up a little bit, and it has the typical clasp. And so you can see here where you could attach a strap. I don't have a strap, but you could attach one. It's nice and big inside here. It's nice and roomy, and then you get a nice you get a nice pocket in there too that is pretty good size. You can hold some stuff that way, and then you can also use this front pocket. So again, a receipt. I've got like receipts in all of my bags. So you've got this nice big pocket too. So it does hold a pretty significant amount, and it's really, really sweet. Here's a picture of the side and the back and the bottom. The handle is in really nice shape. So it is a really, really sweet bag, and I do love this one. If I was going to keep any, it would be this one, but it's just kind of collecting dust on my shelf, and it's so pretty. I want it to go to a good home and good use. So if you think you will use this stunning bag, please let me know. So the last two bags that I have for sale are big tote bags. I have this Ferragamo Beige tote that is for sale. It is black, but it used to be taupe. I have a whole bag on getting it, a whole video, sorry, on getting this bag dyed and a review of it. So I'll link that down below. But for me, I've gotten a new black bag that I like a little bit better, and it's a little too floppy for me, this one. It's not as stiff as I would like. So that's why this one is getting sold, but it is a really nice bag. And so if you like a more flexible leather, you like a pebbled leather, then this one could be a really nice option for you. It was just re-dyed again, so, and there was a couple spots that were uneven, but that has been fixed, and it's in really nice shape. So it's a beautiful bag. It has just been dyed, so there may be some flecks. I did clean it off, just a quick little clean, and that got most of them. I'm really not getting any on my hands as I'm holding this. But just so you know, if you bought this, it could have a couple little flecks on it. But it is a great, great bag, and it's really nice and roomy. It's, I think, like 17 by 10, so it's a really, really nice size, but it doesn't appear super bulky. So it's a good one, and it does have the closure on the top, the zip, but you can check out the video if you're interested in that to see more about this bag. We've almost reached the end. There is one more bag, again, one that I've done a video on. It is the Mulberry Bayswater in this tannish color. I don't really know how to describe the color. It is a little yellow, it is a little tan. It is a neutral color. It has brown piping, if that helps, so you can sort of see the color contrast with the brown. But that is this bag. It is really cute, but I just don't really reach for it because it's just not a color that is useful in my wardrobe. But Bayswater, you know, is such a classic, and this one is in good shape. There's a couple small marks. I would clean this up. I'm not exactly sure how to do that, but that could be a good thing to do. And a few small marks on the back. Again, I have not tried to clean it at all, so you might be able to do that. The feet have gotten, you know, the bronze has worn off a little bit on them. But this is such a great bag. I absolutely adore my Bayswater. I am looking maybe to get one in a dark brown, or I might even get a black, even though I really don't need it, just because they're so classic, and they seem to be not totally phasing out the classic Bayswater, but they're reinventing it so many times that I will miss the classic if they kind of get rid of it, or if they just have a really limited stock of colors and options. But it is so beautiful. So on the pre-loved market, they are still around, and it might be something that you want to pick up. So this one is for sale. Here's what the inside looks like. It's beautiful. This one is from Material World, so it is guaranteed authentic. They have all the authenticity guarantees, and it does come with a dust bag and that authentic sort of tag. So that is this one. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you have any questions about any of the bags, you want to know any more about why I sold them, or the ones that are currently for sale. I am happy to answer any questions, and I would love to hear from you all about the bags that you've sold or ones that you want to add into your collection. So thanks again so much for watching. If you liked it, please give it a like and subscribe to see more videos. I am thinking about doing my current bag collection so you can see what I've gotten rid of and maybe what I currently have. If that's something that you're interested in, please let me know, and I will be sure to get to that in the coming weeks. Thank you so much again, and have a great day.